What's up everyone, welcome back. The names are beginning to pile up in regard to who the Lakers might be targeting in the buyout market. We have already heard them being linked to Dennis Schroeder, Paul Millsap, and others, but they have now been linked to another bigger name player, with that being Goran Dragic. Dragic has been a bit of a forgotten player this year. He began the year with the Toronto Raptors, but did not remain there for long before taking a personal leave from their team. And well, he never ended up coming back. He spent a majority of his time working out in Miami, with many people believing and joking that he might have forgotten that the Miami Heat traded him away. All joking aside though, after being traded from Toronto to San Antonio at the trade deadline, it is widely believed that he will soon reach an agreement on a contract buyout. He does not have a fit on San Antonio's current rebuilding team and would much rather play for a contender at this point in his career, and if or when he does eventually become available, he is definitely going to have multiple contending teams reaching out to him. Among all of those teams, the LA Lakers and Golden State Warriors are believed to be the frontrunners according to Woj. Along with them though, the LA Clippers, Milwaukee Bucks, Chicago Bulls, and Brooklyn Nets are believed to be interested in him as well. And while the Lakers may not be in the best position in regard to their record, they could offer Dragic a large role on their team and try to persuade him to help them with their playoff push. Now, I am not sure that will be enough to entice him to join their team, but it does appear that he has general interest in becoming a Laker. We all know that many NBA players tend to live in LA during the summer, and even if they don't, they probably would not mind living and playing there for at least a little while. And maybe that might be something that Dragic has interest in. I mean, don't quote me here, as I am really just throwing out ideas, but we have seen players join the Lakers before simply from the idea of living in LA. But even with Dragic potentially having interest in joining them, should the Lakers feel the same way? Because although Dragic could very likely be the best overall player to become available, that does not guarantee him to be the best fit for their team. I have talked about this before, but the Lakers really need to quit prioritizing going after the biggest name rather than going after who would probably be the better fit. That issue alone is a big reason for their current 15-man roster not working well. Now, I am not saying that Dragic would be a bad fit for their team, but I'm not sure he would be the ideal fit either. They definitely have bigger needs in my opinion, but I do think the Lakers would benefit by adding a backup point guard, and especially one who can play off the ball and knock down three-point shots at a high rate. And Dragic can definitely do that. He has a career average of over 36% from the three-point line and has been able to knock them down at a high volume too. He would be a good change of pace point guard option compared to Russ, and one who would undoubtedly fit better on the court with LeBron. Not only can he knock down three-point shots at a much higher rate than Russ and actually play well off the ball, but he can also be a secondary playmaker too. Like Russ, Dragic may not be a good defender either, but he definitely would be a better fit on offense when compared to him, and simply giving them another option at point guard would be beneficial alone. However, even with all of that in mind, I still do not think they should prioritize adding Dragic over a 3-and-D wing player. I already brought up the idea of signing DeAndre Bembry in a prior video, and I stand by that. A guy like Bembry may not be a better overall player than Dragic, but he is without a doubt a better overall fit for their current team. In my opinion, their top 3 biggest needs in order would have to be number 1, a 3-and-D wing defender, number 2, a floor spacing big, and then number 3, a backup point guard. You could probably rearrange number 2 and number 3 in any order, but again, their number 1 priority should without a doubt be a 3-and-D wing defender. Given that Frank Vogel is trying to make them a defensive-minded team, it would only make sense to give him more defensive-minded players. The only defensive-minded wing that he has right now is arguably Stanley Johnson, and that simply is not enough. Their winning formula has always begun with defense, and right now, they definitely need more of it. They may not be an awful defensive team, but more often than not, they do tend to be below average, and it's no surprise when you take a look at the lack of defenders on their team. So in that regard, no. I would not make Goran Dragic my #1 buyout priority if I were the Lakers. However, I would make him my second, third, or at the very least my fourth priority. It really depends on how many players they waive from their team. From everything that we've heard, they are guaranteed to waive at least one player from their current 15-man roster. But if they only waive one player, then I would probably have to ignore Goran Dragic. Though if they waive 2 or maybe even 3 players from their team, which I do hope they do, then I definitely would be all for adding Dragic. Now, I am not sure if they will do that, which is why I do want my priorities to be very clear here, but we can hope for a miracle, right? We do need to realize that waiving 2 or 3 players from their current team and then replacing them with new ones could potentially cost them a lot of money. When a team is deep into the luxury tax like they are, everything adds up quickly, and with how hesitant they have been to spend money in the past, I do worry about their commitment to doing it right now. In conclusion though, would Goran Dragic be a good player for them to target in the buyout market? Yes, I do think he would be. But should he be their #1 priority? No, I personally do not think he should be. I do recognize that even if they are able to add both a 3-and-D player and Goran Dragic, that they still likely would not be a championship contender, but you need to realize that they should be trying to do everything that they can to improve their team. With them not having a draft pick to tank for, and barely having any young talent to develop, it's not worth it for them to completely give up on their team. There are definitely minor improvements that can be made through the buyout market, and sometimes, a minor improvement can go a very long way. Hopefully, that will be what happens for the Lakers in the buyout market. Again, I am not guaranteeing anything here, but they do have a very good opportunity to improve. But with that will conclude my thoughts on the Lakers potentially targeting Goran Dragic, and what do you guys think? Where do you believe he should fall in their priority list? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. And if you want additional NBA content from me on YouTube, then I recommend you head over to my second channel called JSM Plus. I make videos on every NBA team over there, so if you think you might enjoy that, be sure to check it out. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.